Hello and welcome. I finally got to play Hellblade 2 and I'll say this straight up. Hellblade 2 is not for everyone. This is a niche game. This is the kind of game that focuses more on storytelling than gameplay. If you've played the first game and you loved it, I think you will like this one as well. But if you did not like the first game, then you will not like this one. I know people are calling this game walking simulator, cutscene simulator or tech demo, and I perfectly understand that. But there are people who enjoy games like this. I remember the first time I saw the gameplay of the first game. I was not interested because of how slow the gameplay was. It went on sale and I bought it very cheap and left it sitting in my games library for a while until I finally decided to play it and I was blown away. I'm the kind of person that loves fast-paced, hack and slash, shoot 'em up kind of games. But playing the first Hellblade blew my mind because I had never experienced something like that before. The first Hellblade does not focus so much on gameplay because of the reason behind the development of that game. The first game was created to raise awareness on psychosis. Senua, the person you play as, is suffering from psychosis and you get to experience that mental illness through the eyes of Senua. The two major symptoms of psychosis are visual and auditory hallucinations. The developers were trying to create visual and auditory hallucinations in part 1. That is why you keep hearing voices talking to her. Those are auditory hallucinations. Same thing with part 2. Their main focus is for you to experience psychosis through incredible visuals and sounds. This is why I believe the game focuses more on the presentation rather than the gameplay. That is why this is a niche game. Hellblade is not trying to be Elden Ring or Devil May Cry or Final Fantasy. Hellblade is just busy being Hellblade. And to be honest, when I played the first game, I was so blown away by the audio and visuals that I became interested in the topic of psychosis. I even started researching on the subject. That means they got their message across. The first game was incredible because it was a low budget game. The developers were able to make that kind of game with a budget as low as $10 million. But after being in development for around 5 years and having more money or more budget and more people in their development team for Hellblade 2, I kind of feel like Hellblade 2 fell short in some areas. So after getting that out of the way, let's talk about the gameplay and other stuff. Hellblade 2 was developed by Ninja Theory, the same studio that made the not so well received Devil May Cry reboot. And the game is available on Xbox Series X and S, Windows and Nvidia GeForce Now. I played the Windows version, so I'll be talking about the Windows version. These are the PC requirements according to Steam. This is a very demanding game and you will need a dedicated graphics card to play it. This is my hardware, Core i7 10th Gen CPU, Nvidia RTX 2060 with 6 gigs of VRAM, 32 gigs of RAM and 4TB SSD. My hardware struggled with Hellblade 2. I had to set the graphics to low while using Nvidia DLSS upscaling. Even after setting the graphics to low and all that, I was still seeing some frame drops here and there. I have another PC that has an RTX 3050 Ti and that laptop was crying for help when I tried playing Hellblade 2 on it. The laptop could not handle it. I think if you have a beefier hardware, you may not have this problem. You see, this is the usual problem with PC games. We have to wait for patch or performance updates to fix this optimization issue. So, like the first Hellblade, Hellblade 2 is not an open world game and it is very linear. This is not an RPG. You don't change costumes, you don't upgrade your weapons, you don't upgrade anything. What about the combat? Combat to me felt easier than part 1. In the first game, you fight multiple enemies at the same time and the combat felt more fluid. In Hellblade 2, you only fight one enemy at a time, which is kind of weird, and the combat feels kind of stiff compared to part 1. You can still block and parry, but boy oh boy, the animation when you kill an enemy is insane. And Hellblade 2 has fewer combats than Hellblade 1, but when you eventually get to fight, some fights can get pretty intense. The combat is not the only thing that felt easier. The puzzles in Hellblade 2 are ridiculously easy, like goddamn, the puzzles are too damn easy. I could solve the puzzles with my eyes closed. Fewer and easier puzzles. In the first game, the reason why the puzzles were interesting was that you have to see things differently, or you try to see what others can't see. That is why the first game keeps talking about seeing things differently or opening your inner eye, that kind of stuff. But in Hellblade 2, it felt like they didn't hit that magic of the first game when it comes to the puzzles. But apart from that, Hellblade 2 is a very beautiful game. The graphics and visuals are spectacular. The face animations of the characters, the environment, the activities going on while you play. This is a beautiful game to look at. But let me tell you about something else that is beautiful to look at. If you are an upcoming artist and you want to share your music with the world, DistroKid is the best place to get you started. I compose music and I use DistroKid to distribute my songs. Their services are great and their customer support is fast and amazing. With only $22 a year, you can upload your music to all streaming platforms like Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, and the rest. You can upload as many songs as you want. You also get to keep 100% of all your earnings. To get started, click my affiliate link in the description to sign up and get 7% off your first subscription. By doing so, you are supporting the channel. So, let's get back to the video.
You must do as I say or you will anger the gods.
The story of Hellblade 2 was good. Very good, in fact. After all, the visuals and storytelling was their main focus, so the story has to be good. I enjoyed the story, but it was not as emotional or as deep as the first one. There were some what the fuck moments in the first game and some weird plot twists, but Hellblade 2 didn't hit that emotion or tension I felt in part 1, especially when Hellblade 1 lied to you that the rot will spread every time you die, and if the rot reaches your head, it is game over and you lose all your progress. That kind of stuff gives you anxiety and adds to the psychosis they want you to experience. You become careful not to feel. You become anxious. Hellblade 2 had nothing like that. Hellblade 2 tries to hold your hands throughout the game and wants you to do less work. But Hellblade 2 had some insane crazy moments. I don't want to show all because I don't want to spoil the game, but the only one I will show is when you start running away from that female giant. What is her name? I can't even call her name. It has one strange sounding name. That part was incredible. The game is also very short. I think like 5 to 6 hours. Not every game needs to be a 20-hour epic, but this game was quite short. Is it just me, or does Hellblade 2 feel shorter than Hellblade 1? I don't know, it feels kind of shorter. And apart from the game being short, the ending of Hellblade 2 was too sudden and too fast. We got to the climax and boom, the game just ended. It feels like the ending was rushed. I feel like there should have been more. But the sound design is amazing. Like I said earlier, one of the symptoms of psychosis is auditory hallucinations. They were able to achieve this using binaural audio. To enjoy the amazing sound and to experience that auditory hallucinations, play the game with headphones. Apart from the amazing sound design, the auditory hallucinations and stuff, the voice acting is excellent. But what do I think about the game overall? I think Hellblade 2 is a good game. It is not perfect and it has its flaws, but if you like games like this, if you like story-based game, I think you will enjoy this game. If you don't like cinematic story-based games, you may not like this one. You may not like Hellblade 2. And like I said, this is a niche game. This game is not for everybody. So, have you played Hellblade 2? What do you think about this game? Do you enjoy it or do you hate this game? Do you think Hellblade 1 is better than Hellblade 2, or do you think Hellblade 2 is better? For me, I think Hellblade 2 looks better than Hellblade 1, but Hellblade 1 has this kind of emotional deep story and it had this strange magic that Hellblade 2 doesn't have. Hellblade 2 has things that are better than Hellblade 1 and Hellblade 1 has things that are better than Hellblade 2. So I think if I want to experience the whole of Senua Senua. You know, play Hellblade 1, play Hellblade 2, get the best of both worlds. And after playing Hellblade 2, I have become more interested in this Senua's story. I want to see more of what this game has to offer. I am becoming more interested in her story. I want to see where this whole thing leads to. Anyway, that's all I have for the video. As I said, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Have you played the game? Do you enjoy it? Do you hate it? Or are you going to skip this one? In fact, do you even think this game is worth $50? Because that's one of the things I have seen people don't like about the game. They said the game is not worth $50. Let me know all that in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to slap the like button, subscribe for more videos like this, and turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified every time I post new videos. And I will see you in the next video.